I wish football was right now, but you probably don't, Lavonte David. You're enjoying your off season before entering year freaking 14. What does that feel like?
What's up, Kay? Thank you for having me.
Hi.
But it feels amazing. It feels great. It feels like an accomplishment, honestly.
Really?
To be able to have the opportunity to play this game for 14 years. I never thought I'd be in this position. First and foremost, I thought I'd be long gone by now. But it's here. Thank God. Thank the Bucs for keeping me around, and it's definitely a blessing.
What do you mean you thought you wouldn't be here? Mercedes is going into year 20. You still got lots of
Yeah.
years to go.
I never expected to play this long. As a young pup, I came in, thinking I'm just come in, learn, get what I got to get out of the game, and be gone. I didn't think it was gonna go this long. I'm gonna be honest with you, but now that it's here, it's all surreal. I'm embracing
Yeah.
it for sure.
What is it? Was it a quick decision to come back this year? And congratulations on re-signing with your Bucks.
Thank you, but honestly, this year probably was quicker than it was last year. Uh, Going to year 13, I was definitely mourning over retirement. Um, my body was hurting. I was tired. It was a long season. I felt things I never felt before in my body. I was like, okay, this might be the time where, I really got to consider, hanging it up.
Hmm.
And then, this year, what made it easy for me this year was just, the Bucs organization reaching out to me, everybody telling me they wanted me to come back. It's basically saying like, I played an awesome season last year and they wanted me to come back. And, I got home, got a chance to talk it over with family and friends and things like that. And, my mind was made up because I felt like I could still play at a high level too as well. And, now I'm here entering 14.
Who made the best pitch? Who called and was the most convincing?
Uh, Honestly, it was just a one-on-one conversation, honestly, with me and Jason. You know, um, me and Jason got a great relationship. We are real transparent with each other. Me and Jason been knowing each other for a long time. We got those Nebraska ties and things like that. So, we're real cool, real transparent. He talking to me, he's saying, we want to bring you back, but I understand that where you are in the point of your life, where you at mentally. We want to give you some time to, mull things over and whatever decision you want to make, is up to you. Just know that you got a contract over here waiting for you whenever you're ready. And just let we want you back though, but we're gonna leave the decision in your hands. So that's all the convincing I needed.
I saw Jason at the owners' meetings, and the first thing I said was, I was like, as I was saying hi to him, giving him a hug, I said, "Thank you for Lavonte, like, thank you for getting that done." And he goes, it was just, no chance that wouldn't get done, no chance. And
Yeah.
he credited you. I watched the interview this morning to see what he was saying, and just calling you the face of the franchise, the soul. We don't want to do it without Lavonte, but also hearing that like you weren't feeling the best. This is a great photo. Look at this photo.
Yeah. That's the parade. That's the Super Bowl parade.
What makes him so special to you? I feel like he doesn't get enough love, and I hate that for him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously, him being a GM, being a GM of an organization, professional organization, you get a lot of hate from different people and things like that. But, my relationship with him, for real, we just, be honest with each other. We're a man in this business, and that's how we approach each other, first and foremost. At the end of the day, it's a business too as well. But at the same time, just have respect for one another and move accordingly. And that's just the relationship that we built throughout the years. When he first came in, it was like my third year in the league, and he actually, did my first deal. So, ever since then, we had that kind of, relationship, that transparency and just talking, whenever things like this come up and stuff like that. And it's been well ever since.
I love it. And the consistency has been there. 5 straight trips to the playoffs, longest streak in the NFC, third longest streak in the NFL. I know I feel like if I went on the street, like one of those Gen Z TikTokers, and asked people who has this third longest streak after the Bills, I believe, and the Chiefs, it's the Bucs. It is the Bucs. Started with Tom Brady, didn't really lose much of a step after he wins, plays for a year, and then hangs it up. We'll get to all of that. I think it's kind of crazy that you're telling me like a year ago, and considering coming back, you didn't feel as good. You feel much better physically now, you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, physically and mentally.
Okay.
Um,
I,
this past year,
I want
just
to show you
because,
something.
yeah.
Well, because you're
Go
sorry to
ahead.
interrupt. You're saying
No.
this, and then it's like
Uh-huh.
you're almost acting like you survived the year. This is a list here. I wish they didn't pop it up this quick, but look at this. I wanted to put together a list of the players that had 100 or more tackles, 5 or more sacks, and 3 or more forced fumbles. It's just you. You're the only one in the whole NFL, and now you're saying that you weren't even like feeling that great. Like, how? What is it? What
Yeah.
is 2025?
I mean, 2025, I'm there. Yeah, I'm good. I'm all in. It was just, coming into last year, just a couple of things that I had to, figure out body wise. When you first get a little injury or whatever, you don't know how to handle it and things like that. And once you get the grasp of it, you know how to take care of yourself and things like that. That's when you start feeling better. And so now, I'm feeling even more comfortable, even better. So, maybe you'll see better numbers than that. But right now, I'm just, down here, back home, working out, preparing myself for a long season.
Got Atlanta week 1. Is there anything on this any game on the schedule that you have circled or that means more to you than the others? You're OG enough to tell me the truth.
Yeah. No, not really. I just think it's a great schedule. It's going to be a lot of competing going on. Some fun battles for sure. I know the past whatever years we've been playing San Fran, we've been playing the Lions, a lot. So those games be real fun to be a part of, and obviously the division games and things like that. And getting the opportunity to come back home to play. We play in Miami the week of Christmas. So that should be fun. I only got a chance to play here one time already in my career, and this is gonna be the second time. So down right there should be cool for friends and family to enjoy.
I can't believe that. I also can't believe that you're starting with Atlanta getting all these primetime games. Who won the division last year? The Buccaneers. Always
Hey
slept on,
man,
always not given the love. It's insane. It's like very upsetting to
yeah.
me, but you don't ever seem to care about that. Commanders aren't on your schedule. Are you sad about that?
Not really sad, but I feel like we'll meet up at some point in the season. If everybody, they side, do what they supposed to do. Bobby keep them in line, getting where they supposed to be, and I do what I'm supposed to do over here, and get us where we're supposed to be. Hopefully, we'll meet up again. Obviously, that first round playoff game was very, very heartbreaker for me because I felt like, me and a bunch of other guys, we felt like we could have done it. We had the team to do it, but we didn't get the job done. So the chance to get another opportunity, play another season to get back to that point, we're very much looking forward to it.
You and Bobby, week 1, then in the playoffs, of course. Can you explain to someone who's just been such a fan of you two
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
Luke?
yeah.
How special? I know you don't play each other, but you know what I'm saying. How
Mhm.
special are those moments, those
Yeah,
games?
the moments are very special because me and Bobby personally, we developed a relationship way when we started this process. We developed a relationship coming out for the Senior Bowl. We were roommates in the Senior Bowl, and from that point on, we kept close contact and just kind of watched each other and just encouraged each other. The thing is about us, we competitors at nature, we competitors at heart, whatever, but we root for each other's success. I'm proud of the things that he's done, not only on the field, but off the field. He kind of gave me some advice and things like that, as far as off the field things and vice versa. Every time we see each other, we embrace each other, we text each other, before the season starts, we text each other during, around this time, see how we doing, working out, how we feeling and stuff like that. So, that relationship, is amazing. And then Luke, Luke just being Luke, man, just watching Luke for a very long time, the way he is and the way he carries himself, being able to reach out to him anytime that you want, get advice from him and things like that, it's pretty cool to see, pretty cool to have because, a lot of people in this profession, you kind of get caught up in just, this guy right here, I'm competing against this guy. But when you put all that aside and what you're capable of as far as, the body work that you put in and just develop relationships with those people, it's amazing. And I'm definitely proud of those guys, definitely wanted Luke to get in the Hall of Fame, his first try. But I'm sure he'll be in at the next one, and I'll definitely be there to support him. And then when Bobby gets in there too, I'll definitely be there to support. So that's the type of relationship we have, and I'm definitely proud of those guys and the success that they had and having throughout their journey through the league.
And then you.
and then me, and then
And then
me.
you.
You
I mean,
know,
the fact that
yeah,
the three of you are like in the same draft class is actually wild to think about. Not only for
yeah,
like what you mean to your teams and the like clear, like you and Bobby, Super Bowl champions, all of that, but like just what you mean to the locker room, what you mean
yeah,
as like men, as like examples for everyone. Like it's amazing.
yeah.
It's so interesting to hear that you're surprised that you're here for 14 years. And I think that like there's a lot of gratitude in that because you understand, you don't take it for granted. You can look at
Nah, I
Luke,
don't.
walking like my
Right.
question would be like for these young cats
Hmm.
that are like, I mean, I'm just looking at just the numbers of like I was looking at, like I was going to play, just do the name game, like kids who
Hmm.
were born when you were drafted are in high school this year. Like that's true. When you talk about
Yeah.
these young cats in the league, what would you tell them is the reason you're here for 14 years? The one reason, whether it's something little in the workout room or a
Hmm.
little tweak or a health thing or a
Hmm.
mental thing, like why are you here 14 years in?
I think that the main thing for me is just being disciplined and staying focused
Mm,
on the process, knowing, that I'm playing football and what I want to get out of it, so I know the sacrifice that I got to make to be great, and just being disciplined through all that, just putting all the small things aside and then focus on what matters, and that's playing the game of football. And when you play this game, you can't cheat the game. You can't cheat the game. You got to be on point in everything you do, because when you cheat it, it catch up with you. And when people see that, you'll be out the game just like that. How quick you could be out the league. The span of people in the league is very short, as we already know. But my whole thing was just staying disciplined and keeping the main thing, and that's playing football and perfecting my craft week in and week out, and trying to be the best when I go out there.
When I was thinking about just your team, and I really do, I had a whole time on the call this morning with my staff, just like they're just
Hmm.
so unheralded. Like they won a Super Bowl not long ago, 4 years ago.
Hmm.
Like then I just feel
Hmm.
like people sleep on them and people are looking at, and there's all these other sexy storylines. You're entering year 14 and I'm like, oh, he's got Baker. Baker's young. Baker's not like that young anymore. He's entering year
Nah,
8, I think.
yeah,
Like
he's
he's
just
got,
saying, yeah.
it's his third year with the Bucs. What
Hmm.
is his energy like maybe now, even at OTAs, even now, as opposed to when he first got on that team? Like I'd love to understand. I know everyone wants to run through a wall for him. I know that he's a gamer. I know all of that. Like how have you watched him sort of grow in these 3 years?
Oh man, I love it. When Baker first walked in the locker room, he was very embracing, to everybody, because like I kind of like feel like he put himself as a young guy again, coming in and learning from all these vets that's around, like guys like me, Mike, Chris, Will Golston, some other older guys that
Yeah.
we had on the team. And he just came in and just kind of like looked like he just took a seat back and just kind of learned from us to learn how to do things. And all we wanted for him to do was just go out there and have fun and just be him. And that's what he's been doing. You don't see Bate doing a lot of talking, and don't doing a lot of different things. Only in the media when he's asked to be in the media, because obviously he's the quarterback. But all he
Hmm.
does is just go out there and have fun, man. And that's all we want him to do. And you see it. And, when he out there having fun, he's putting up all pro caliber numbers, and he made the Pro Bowl 2 years in a row. So it's just amazing to see. And just the person that he is, family man,
Hmm.
just embracing the community and everybody loving him and just doing all his community work and things like that. It's just incredible to see, man. He's definitely outside looking in. Obviously I didn't know Bake when he first got into the league and how everybody, looked at him and stuff like that. I always thought outside looking in before I know him, I thought he was one of those prima donna guys who loves the
Hmm.
media and stuff like that. But, he's the complete opposite, man. And we got a great relationship. He's definitely a humble guy, hardworking guy. He want to be the great. He want to be the greatest. A guy who's full of grit and just want to grind and just want to win football games and have fun doing it. That's what you want to have as a quarterback, and he's definitely doing it.
Oh, I'm so curious, like, how do you think he did it? Because sometimes I think people, and I would say, like, he's got like bravado. Like, he did his whole college
Mm-hmm.
career, and then, like, people want to make of that what they will. And there
Mm-hmm.
has been like a change. How
Yeah,
hard is it for him to do that? Do you think
yeah.
it's like, do you like when he has to go in front of the cameras? Does he have to
Mm-hmm.
like be disciplined to not let it rip? Because that's also like part of his game. It's what makes
Yeah.
me like him as a player. But do you think it's hard for him to not stunt on everybody? I guess is what I'm asking.
I think it's hard for him not to. I think it's hard
Yeah.
for him not to. I'm sure
Discipline.
a couple times it may have slipped up, like, yeah, like this for my haters out there. I'm sure he want to say some stuff like that, and I'll back him up with it too, because he did get a lot of doubt. He get a lot of doubt a lot right now to this day. A lot of people still doubt him, and he's proven those doubters wrong. And I got his back no matter what, man. You know, everybody wanna, come to Baker, you got to come through me. You know what I'm saying?
I hear that a lot. Even like I was
Yeah.
at the rookie premiere. I don't know if have you met Tez Johnson yet?
Not really. I
Okay.
think I probably ran across him one time.
I mean, you might step on him. He's amazing. He's so fun.
Yeah.
But I think he met Baker for 12 seconds and he sat with me and he was going on and on about how he would, you want to get to Baker. He was saying the same thing. Like, and how much does that have to do with obviously how he carries himself, and everybody wants to protect their quarterback, but truly, I don't see many quarterbacks throwing blocks like Baker. How much does that affect? Like the grit, how much does that affect this team's success?
I think it does. I think it has a lot to do with it because you don't see quarterbacks doing things Baker. You know, sometimes it's a little scary with seeing him doing and stuff like that. But at the same time, that's him. You know, he's a football player. You know what I'm saying? He's a quarterback and he's a football player. And that's what we love about it. I done caught myself plenty of times this past season of standing up, watching bait, spin move, break a guy down. And, like that game against Detroit, I was standing up watching that. It was another game. I want to say maybe it was against the Chargers, and then there's the game in the playoffs against the Saints too, and then against Washington. The plays that he made was, kind of incredible to see. And I'm up there. I almost ran on the field to celebrate with him. I remember Bowles telling me to get back and things like that. That's how excited I was, man. It just that grind that he brings to the game from that position. You know what I'm saying? Like he played quarterback like a linebacker. I think that's what it is. That's why I like it.
Yeah, I think he plays quarterback like a linebacker is everything.
Yeah.
And it's so true.
Right.
One last one for you before we let you go. I mentioned it at the top. I like the Bengals. I want them to be successful. Their defense needs help. The latest this morning, Ben Baby of ESPN is saying that Trey Hendrickson is dug in with the contract talks. He wants what he wants. I want to just ask you, not the money part of it. When you watch Trey, who obviously had 17 and a half sacks, he's done that twice. What stands out about him? I think there's a notion that like he's not that special of a player. It's an anomaly season, whatever. What do you see about Trey? Yeah, see, I like that face. Talk to me about Trey.
I'm a football fan. I watch football. I watch the game, and I've been watching him since he was in New Orleans. So I know what he brings to the table, and it's his consistency, play in and play out. You know what you're going to get from him, play in and play out, and he's going to dominate every time. He had double sack seasons, for a reason. Just so happened to be the season that he did get, 17 and a half sacks and lead the league. But I just think it's not as flashy, and he's not a flashy guy. And I think that's what the issue might be. Some people get caught up in like the looks of a person and things like that, but instead of the production that the guy is bringing on the field, and with his production, he deserves to get whatever he's asking for. And I feel like he's a consistent player, and I feel like he's still going bring those sacks and those pressures that the team need, and he's going to continue to be a key player for them. Because I just remember when he was playing with the Saints, man, he was dominating us as a rookie.
Yeah.
Dominating, making plays, creating havoc and things like that. And he's still doing it right now to this day. So that's the main thing for me. If you see a guy who's consistently improving, I think you should give him what he's due.
And he's in his prime right now. To have Lavonte David say that you remember him dominating on those teams, those Saints teams, those early teams. He's playing even better right now.
It hurt for me to say that. But yeah,
I'm worried for what the defense will look like without him. I'm just worried for if they were not great with him crushing it. Basically, we need to get him paid. Also, I would like Bengals, to listen to this. You just talked about how meaningful it was that you felt wanted.
Yeah,
that's what I heard in the beginning of this.
Yeah.
Like Jason Licht wanted you. They wanted to get the deal done. That matters. Like that matters for a fast start, for how you feel, for your mental. Like, let's get it done. Okay, appreciate you so much. Congrats on keeping the playoff streak alive. But we got to punch it through this year. Is this the year? Let's go.
It's the year. It's the year, man. It's the year for sure. I believe it. I believe all the guys in our locker room, and believe like we're gonna get it done. We just got to put the work in, and in the season, we'll look up and see. Hopefully, we're holding that trophy.
Yeah. See you, Bobby Wagner. We got to get you another ring before you hit the Hall of Fame. I think you're top 10 and you're an absolute monster. It doesn't make sense that you're such like a wonderful smiley human with what you look like on the field, but I'll always love that.
Right.
Lavonte David, always an honor to talk to you.
Thank you, Kay. Appreciate you for having me.